hard for weeks now. But Artie's the only one I trust to check my work. You can't be too careful when you're dealing with a maniac like Kid, you know.
Hey, you can trust me. Come on, what's the dirt you got on Kid?
Nix on that. I ain't spilling nothing till I talk with Arthur F-L-Y.
Hey, if I arrange a meeting with Artie, could you use that insurance of yours?
Use it. Heck, if what I'm sitting on pans out, I could send that bozo all the way to the big house.
I'll see what I can do. Nice caricatures up there, huh?
Yeah, Zane's an ace cartoonist, but it's kinda hard for me to look at all those faces knowing the guys they belong to are all 6 feet under.
So, everybody in that portrait gallery is deceased now, right?
Yeah, Kid's bullets have a tendency to do that to people, but I guess it's kinda sweet that he commemorates them afterwards.
Yeah, sweet.
And after all, Kid only shoots other hoodlums.
I really like your voice.
Thanks. You should hear me when I ain't so under the weather.
You're sick?
Oh yeah, sore throat. That's why I'm giving Cue Ball so many extended solos tonight.
I kinda wondered about that. Do you know Sister Christian?
I don't do religious tunes.
Hey, your songs seem to have a big effect on Officer Parker over there.
I am humbled and gratified that my musical gifts have fallen upon such receptive ears.
I don't care. What are those? Are they lyrics for one of your songs?
I haven't memorized them yet.
Break a leg out there.
Thanks.
She's supposed to turn on Kid Tannen tonight? Okay, Doc, if you say so. Hey, Artie! He's back! Hoover 28. A chicken in every pot. How's that working out, Herbie? Edna!
What?
Do you think I could have a copy of your You Should Care lyrics? I've, got a club of my own that could really use some inspiring.
Sure. Let me just get a page out of the hymnal. There you are.
Hey, thanks. You know, Trixie Trotter sings a song that sounds a lot like your You Should Care.
She does?
Yeah, but hers is a little more carefree.
That's what you get when you sing for booze hounds and gangsters.
You know, Trixie Trotter sings a song that's...
She does?
Yeah, but...
That's what
See ya.
Keep fighting the good fight.
Harry, you're just in time.
How have you been, Emmett? I know I haven't seen you in a couple of months.
I'm great, and I owe it all to you.
Really?
Yes, that argument I had with my father during our jet drill experiment gave me the incentive to finally quit that dreary court job. I've committed myself full-time to a life of science.
So, thanks for watching Einstein while I've been... away.
It's been a pleasure. He's proven to be a surprisingly willing test subject. It's almost as if he's been working with me for years.
More like decades. What's the story with the little car and all this equipment?
Einstein and I are conducting a few experiments with this 1/4 scale model to work out a few hitches in my planned demonstration at the Hill Valley Expo in a couple of months.
A radio-controlled car?
No. Well, yes, but there'll be so much more than that. It will amaze the world. Aha! Got it!
Got what?
I'll show you. Ready to go, Einstein? Watch this! When this baby hits 23 miles per hour, You're gonna see some serious cow flop.
Einstein!
Oh!
Get him out of there!
Not to worry. I've got a fail-safe eject mechanism around here someplace. See? Nothing to worry about.
Nothing. I'll go see if I can find something to help. Or someone. Edna!
What?
Hey, I got a hot lead for you.
Oh? What is it?
Young scientist strands dog on courthouse roof.
What?
Look over there.
Oh, for goodness sake. Mr. Brown!
Please, Miss Strickland, not now. Can't you see I've got a rather delicate situation on my hands at the moment? My trial run...
Trial run? Public hazard, I call it. And I'm sure my editor will agree. And really, I ask you a...
Oh, don't you start to lecture me.
Come here, Einie.
Exactly supposed to get him down?
Come on, boy. Fire escape's this way.
How can I be a member of...
Looks like I'm gonna need more help.
Stand up for the safety of all. Well then, if you refuse to give me a statement, I just won't tell your side of the story.
Oh, damned exasperating woman. It's okay, Einie. The bad lady's gone. Come on down.
Majestic arms. Transients welcome. Well, they don't get more transient than me and Doc. Doc says the expo seems like he's running. Hill Valley Expo, October 12th through the 15th. Doc says the expo was the day he officially became a scientist. Seems like he's running a couple months ahead of schedule. Could Arthur be in there? It's way too dark and crowded for me to tell. O'Malley and Sons. No time for a haircut now, even if they were open. Besides, they'd probably cut it too short. Lamont's house of Ermine. Sleep tight, little Ermines. Hill Valley Stationers. It's closed for the night. Luckily, I don't have a burning need for a greeting card. Lamont's house. Sleep tight, little... Hey, Doc. How's the room?
It's a little cleaner than I would have imagined for a Depression-era flophouse. How are your investigations going?
I saw him.
Who?
My grandpa, on his streetcar for just a second. Doc, we gotta find him.
Why?
Trixie thinks she's got something that could put Kid away, but Artie's the only one who can tell her for sure. I guess he's kind of her tutor or something.
Ah, so that's the connection. When your grandfather disappeared from Hill Valley for 2 months, the bond between him and Miss Trotter was severed, eventually leading to a timeline in which Trixie lost the nerve to betray Tannen.
Yeah?
We've got to find your grandfather.
Any sign of Artie?
Haven't spotted him yet.
Are you sure Tannen's supposed to be arrested by Officer Parker? The guy's a mess.
Mess or no mess, I'm absolutely certain that Parker's your man. In fact, it's his arrest of Tannen that will eventually lead him to becoming Hill Valley's chief of police.
That seems really unlikely. Are you sure Tannen's supposed to be arrested by Officer Parker? The guy's a mess.
Mess or no mess,
Why didn't you tell me I'd run into your younger self tonight?
because I don't remember being out here tonight. Clearly, your interactions with my younger self 2 months ago have slightly altered my personal timeline. I never have the nerve to perform public experiments like he's doing. No matter. Those experiments will be forgotten once I've seen Frankenstein.
Frankenstein?
Yes. Right now, my younger self is fiddling around down there with rocket propulsion systems for his demonstration at the expo.
The thing that'll kick off your scientific career.
Exactly. Now, the rockets are a horrible idea, and I'll soon realize that they'll never work. But eventually, I'll wander into that movie theater and see Frankenstein and clear my mind. I've kept the ticket stub from that movie in my wallet ever since. See?
Why?
Because it's during this movie that I'll have the inspiration for my breakthrough at the expo.
It doesn't have anything to do with reanimating the dead, does it?
Not the way you're thinking, no. But during that famous scene when Colin Clive turned the wheel that raised that shrouded figure into the tower, and that bolt of lightning struck, well, let's just say more than one brain was reanimated that night.
Emmett's not having much luck getting Einstein off the courthouse.
I'm not surprised. Einstein's a smart dog, but heights give him the willies.
What can we do?
I've got it.
What?
Just get my younger self distracted, and I'll handle the rest.
Where'd you park the DeLorean?
I hid it in the DeSoto lot. Nobody's buying cars these days, so it should be safe in there.
Hey, who did burn down Tannen's original speakeasy anyway?
I still don't know. I'd really like to find out before we go home.
I never did get a straight answer about why you came back to 1931 in the first place.
It's, personal. When this is over, I'll tell you all about it.
I'm gonna hold you to that, you know. Can you explain all this? I'm confused.
It's very simple. In the original timeline, Timeline A, the speakeasy arsonist was never caught, creating one of Hill Valley's enduring historical mysteries.
Okay.
When I traveled back to 1931, I created Timeline B, in which I was misidentified as the arsonist and subsequently killed by Kid Tannen's goons. Einstein came with me, and somehow he ended up in the DeLorean when its failsafe mechanism triggered, sending it back to 1986.
Which is where I came in.
Precisely. You traveled back to June 14th, 1931, creating Timeline C, a world in which Carl Sagan wasn't rubbed out by Kid Tannen. But Arthur McFly was served with a subpoena.
And shot by Kid Tannen's goons.
Yes, so you jumped back in time 6 hours, creating Timeline D, saving your grandfather's life, but somehow preventing Kid Tannen from meeting his date with justice.
Which is why the Tannens were so powerful when we jumped back to 86.
So now we've returned to August of 1931, creating Timeline E, in which, fingers crossed, we'll send Tannen to prison where he belongs. Got it?
Sure.
Good.
One question.
What?
Can you explain all this? I'm confused. Why are Tannens always such jerks anyway?
It's hard to say. Rogue Neanderthal genes in their DNA, perhaps.
Why are Tannens always such... Okay, I better get back to fixing history.
Be careful, Marty.
Don't worry, Emmett. I'm sure you'll get it right someday.
Oh, I'm not worried about that. Right now, I'm more concerned with Einstein.
Why don't you take a break from Einstein Patrol for a minute? Maybe go see a movie or something.
Thanks for the offer, Mike. But once Emmett Lathrop Brown sets his mind on a task, nothing can distract him from his purpose. And right now, that purpose is rescuing your dog.
What went wrong with your rocket car?
I'm not entirely sure. As soon as we get Einstein down, I'm gonna go look for it.
Why don't you go look for your car now?
And leave Einie stuck on a ledge? Never! Dogs are much more important than any silly rocket car. Especially one that doesn't work at all.
So what are you and Edna arguing about?
Oh, the usual. Proper role of science in society, whether a rigidly defined morality has any place in a relativistic universe, that sort of thing.
Right. Do you know anything about Officer Danny Parker?
My pop says he's a good cop when he's not drinking.
Good.
Of course, now I hear he drinks all the time.
You know anything about Trixie Trotter?
The songbird of the Sierras? The nightingale of the north? The floozy of the foothills? Never heard of her. And I've definitely never snuck into Tannen's speakeasy to listen to her.